Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Gyle here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. I've got an average Joe's for you guys today, backed by popular demand, and also by popular demand, it's going to be a 2v2, and I'd like to start by apologising if I'm over-representing the pros in the 1v1 ladder format. It's only because it's so much easier to get quality matches. They play a lot more, and they have large entourages who tap me on the shoulder in chat and say, hey, there's a cool match going on, you know, so it's a lot easier to find these matches. Not that I don't get a lot of newbie and average Joe's matches sent to me, I do, but they're not always of the highest quality. There might be kind of laggy bits of play where there's not much going on, or lots of base building, very static play, makes it hard to commentate. So I had to dig out this one actually from the replay vaults, reasonably new, played in the last couple of weeks, or last week or so I think, and it is going to be on 2v2 version of Winter Duel, and I immediately can hear the groan coming across the static of the internet from all of the pros who hate this map, and I don't agree with them because I think it's amazing. It's a 2v2 version, of course, of a GPG Vanilla Classic. This was in the ladder pool for a long time, and I love it. It's mainly because I don't have a problem with point defense wars, with base wars. I like that kind of thing. It adds to the versatility of the game, and that is what this map often gets into because of these large plateau sections here that face off against each other. Ideal for base building here and here. You get a kind of artillery and point defense war. I love that. It's, you know, it's different. It mixes it up, and I also like to play this map because I can't be flanked, and I can only concentrate on one area of attack at a time. So that is why it's a favorite of mine. Anyway, taking a look at the teams over here for Team 1 on the left-hand side, we have Beej. Featured him in one or two average Joes already, and he's going Fim, and his teammate just below him is going to be Pumbasa. I don't know why I say that in the tone of voice which I just did, but it sounds like that's the way it should be said. He's in the orange corner, he's going Cybran. Over for Team 2 on the right-hand side, we have Zero Cool. I'm not sure whether that means he's so cool he's sub-zero, or on a scale of 1 to 10 he reaches 0 and therefore isn't cool at all, but we will let his style of play determine how cool we think he is. He's in the grey corner and he's going Cybran, and also going Cybran is Mishka, who sounds like he should be from Russia or Eastern Europe, but actually, as FAF denotes, he has a little French flag next to him in chat, so I assume he's French. And that is the guys and how they start the lineup, so to speak. So we've got over here, Tham has had a disagreement with a Hunter and won, and it starts things off nicely. We've got a Selen over here as well for Beej. That'll give him some nice intel early on. Very intriguing indeed as well to see that we've got 3 Cybrans and a Seraphim. Usually UEF are the race of choice on this because point defense play, as we said earlier, is so strong. So, but it is nice to see things mixed up. Let's wait for some interesting play. There's a lot of reclaim on this map in the form of ice, lots of stuff to recycle, and usually it's a nice maneuver to get out here to the edge if you're on the right hand side. Try and steal this first before the engineer comes in and grabs that, and also get on the opposing side as well. This is assumed looking from the point of view of Team 2. That opportunity has been missed. That main chunk of ice is gone. This engineer is going to work on the rest of them. See a little engineer from Zero Cool coming in there to pick up that mass point. But looking at how these guys have started out, Zero Cool went first air. He's currently working on a Jester. That is being produced very slowly indeed. And he went second land. He's got 3 land factories queued up. Whereas Mishka opened very conventionally. He's gone first land and hasn't even started the queue up of the second factory yet. He's moving his ACU out towards the center. He's actually coming over here. Looks like they've got a read on this Selen, at least for the moment. Assume that cloaking hasn't been enabled. And at the same time, Beej is also making his way forward. So 2d2 format seems to be for both of these guys the stratagem. One team member is going to go forward, and the other is going to hang back and base build. But that Jester is out, going straight over the top. Could have worked and finished off that engineer. I think that's probably a decent idea because he's run head first into a Sky Slammer. Doesn't want to really focus over there and try and pick that up because there's 2 more just over the way. Manages to grab it, but it's cost him half his HP. And that has also allowed that mass point to finish. It makes sense to pick up the engineer first and work his way around the top, try and pick up some engineers up here. Of course, it's always beneficial to be in my position and being able to see everything. It's not necessarily something that you can make a decision from when you haven't got line of sight. But anyway, Jester working around. He's got one engineer kill to his name. Now that's 2, as well as that Sky Slammer earlier. He's up to 3 kills. Got that Tham earlier that had scored that nice hit on that Hunter. Is going to lose a fight to a couple of Mantis. Mishka was there with his ACU as well. Wasn't able to put any damage on it with that because the ACU was losing an argument with a hill. Does seem to happen more often than not in this game. But still, Jester working away. Wants to try and get rid of this mass point before he gets taken down by this interceptor that's come off the pad from Beej. Still managing to stay alive. Could pick up another engineer kill here. It's safe to say this Jester has paid for itself nicely. So for the moment, Zero Cool living up to his name. Manages to grab another engineer. Finally, he's taken down with a combination of the interceptor and the Sky Slammer. One of the reasons why I haven't cast more of these games on this map, despite the fact that I say I like them, is mainly because they're actually quite hard to commentate on, because you kind of get usually these periods of base building, as I say, and there's not actually a great deal to be said about two people sitting off from one another on different plateaus, just building point defense and waiting for someone's shield coverage to break. So despite the fact that I really like it, it's not always the easiest thing to commentate on, but I shall give it a go today. We'll see how it works out. I wanted to do one of these, especially since this may well end up going back into the ladder pool. Obviously not in the 2v2 format. It will be the 1v1. Mantis going down here from Mishka, getting caught out by a bunch of Thams and a couple of Zuis from Beej. He can bring those forwards to the edge of this cliff face, and he's going to be able to take out that mass point thanks to the Zuis in that mix. Going to work on this radar going up as well. Finish the engineer first, absolutely the right decision. Then finish off the structure of the radar, make sure that doesn't get completed. So for the moment, very much the stereotypical standoff. Neither team seeming to get any kind of great advantage early on. It's a very far forward land factory going down from Zero Cool. And Mishka going on a little bit of an offensive here, and Beej is actually on an upgrade. Take a look at what that might be. He's actually very near completing that upgrade. A little bit of assistance from Pombasa, and that might get finished very quickly indeed. I'm imagining it's either T2 engineering suite or the gun upgrade. Haven't really got time to look. Mishka had to withdraw a little bit, but once again, Seraphim showing off the power of their Zuis and stalling the production of this land facility. We can see Beej has finished up the upgrade, and it was the gun upgrade. It's a serious amount of firepower that Team 1 just accumulated. Takes out the radar, forces Mishka right back to the right-hand side of the map. He's going to start building an autogun, giving himself some kind of defensive coverage, a place to run back to. Rather strangely decided to walk forward, going to grab some reclaim, I guess, to help those finish as quickly as possible, but doesn't want to be taking too much fire as he drops below 3,500 hit points. And Beej and Pumbasa are now surging forwards. They sense that Mishka's in trouble as he drops well into the red to around the 2,000 HP mark. Mishka wisely backing off. I wouldn't hang about, buddy, if I were you. I'd get right back. Looking for an early ejection in the game. Mantis coming in to help finish that off. Doesn't quite manage it. Decides to surge forward instead. Mishka's trying to get on top of the cliff face. Maybe use the edge of the land to offer him some coverage. But once again comes under the fire. Drops below 1,000. Below 500. 400, 200 hit points. Needs to get out of there. Lucky git is all I'm going to say to that. Mishka on the verge of going down, and Pumbasa is chasing with his Medusas. Huge amount of damage if those shells land, of course. The Medusas doesn't want to get caught by them. Still only on 600 hit points, climbing very slowly. Needs to get as far back as possible. Zero Cool is providing a haven for him way back here with some T1 PD, and Mishka's trying to make for it. There's also some anti-air on the top ridge, but that's going to get absolutely blown to pieces by the invading Zuis coming in. They're trying to push Team 2 back a little bit with a little bit of a Mantis push, but they just haven't got the damage to contend with Beej and that ACU. They're going to lose a couple of land factories. Things not looking good here for Team 2. Forced right back into their corner of the map. Lost basically most of the map control that they've gained from a relatively even start. Beej once again losing a fight with the cliff. Trying to get a solution on a couple of engineers up here. They're working on some anti-air turrets. That's definitely not a priority right now. Zero Cool needs to be more concerned about the stuff on the land. I don't know why Bombassa isn't recycling. There he goes, reclaiming those factories. Just making sure he finishes off this little production base. So Mishka back down onto one factory, penned into his base, still only on 2,200 hit points. He's helping Zero Cool get up some Cerberus turrets, so we have got T2. I think its engineers have come out of that air factory, so we're up to T2 air at least on the right, and that's some kind of advantage. And we're up to T2 land over here on the left. We can see Ilshavas pouring out of that and heading over to the right side of the map. Indeed, we've got the first two right here, right now. Some of them taking some fire though, and those Cerberus turrets are going to allow for some breathing room for Team 2 finally. They've certainly gone through the millstone the last 5 minutes or so. It was a nice little maneuver thanks to that upgrade by Beej. It's given Team 1 a serious advantage back on this side of thing, but we've got a Renegade out now for Team 2, finally finishing off those Medusas that have been camping out here. It's taken out all of the static anti-air that was up here. A couple of a factory. There's one more over there, but slowly he's making his way over. I'd like to see some interceptors or something spanned out to help defend, because that's a nice advantage that Team 2 have for the moment. They currently don't have a counter on the field for it. But obviously, economy-wise, mass and energy at a premium. There's another Renegade that's finished. Zero Cool not currently throwing that into the mix. I think they're still under a little bit of shock from that initial attack. They're surprised to still be in it. We can see now Interceptor coming in from Beej. Couple of them now. And that Renegade is not long for this world, especially not if he's going to stray into range from the Sky Slammer at the same time. That is going to be the end of that Renegade. They need to work on some air coverage if they hope to make use of that T2 air factory. Seeing some bombers coming in from Bombassa as well, going straight after that T1 mass point. Don't have a lot in terms of anti-air. There's a couple of static Ds kicking about in the main base, but not masses. And now we've got some mobile missile launchers coming into the fray from Beej. And Team 2 just spamming up some zappers as quickly as possible to deal with those. Lots of interceptors now on the field for Beej, so air control for the moment in the hands of Team 1. It's a little bit of a shame for Team 2 since they have that advantage of the T2 air factory, but they probably just don't have the economy to deal with it. Knocking that back up to regular speed. We'll see how these guys are doing on eco. Taking a look at Beej, he's sitting on 26 mass. Bombassa is on 15. Mishka is on 17, with a pretty loaded mass bar, and Zero Cool is on 15. So mass advantage definitely with Team 1 for the moment, as you would expect. They've got this extra mass point, and they've denied this mass point down here. And they've also denied this one up here as well. So Team 2 hurting ever so slightly. Going to be forced to upgrade the ones in the main base. You can see we've got a few T2 mass points there. That's why we're not seeing more units pour out of the right-hand side. And Beej on another upgrade. Could that be the nano repair system? Could we be seeing a battle com, or will it be the engineering suite? Will we be seeing some kind of point defense creep trying to get back into that position around here where they were a little earlier before those Cerberus turrets came into play? It'll be interesting to see, but we've actually got quite a lot of them now, and we've got some flak as well. So Zero Cool is in full defensive mode, not looking that cool. Beej now looking very hefty with a big Seraphim style backpack on his back. Take a look at what he was building. He's actually got the TAC missile launcher. That's interesting. And slightly expensive as well. We'll see what he goes after with that. Certainly he can make a play up here. We can take out the hydrocarbon, avoid the zappers down here, take out these factories. Of course, economy dependent, spam that pretty quickly. Does mean that you won't be able to plow that into other stuff, of course. And Mishka just skirting backwards and forwards with his ACU, not overcommitting. Needs to be careful. Still only on 7,500 HP, and that ACU of Beej is still very dangerous with that extra firepower he's got. It's up to 34 kills, so he's got a little bit of veterancy on him there, Mishka. Not sure what the pilot in Beej's ACU is really thinking. It's a very angry bit of ice he's trying to defeat there. He's just trying to go after that mantis on the corner. He's not going to manage it though. And you see how long it's taking him just to get one missile in the clip on that backpack. It's taking forever. It's probably taking quite a bit of eco. See, he's bang out of mass. He's not producing anything back at base. Very tricky to get weapons like this up on a map that's so small as we pass the 16-minute mark game time. And the zappers have been pinged. Presumably that's Team 1 pinging, probably Bombasa pinging for Beej's benefit. Mishka comes in, fires a sneaky overcharge off into that pack of Medusas and then retreats a little bit as those shells come back. Beej now under sustained fire from Mishka. Look at what Mishka's running. See if he got any sneaky upgrades in there. He did get the gun upgrade, so I thought I saw him firing a little bit quicker than the natural pace. So Beej retreats slightly. Has he got a loaded missile now is the question. Take a look at what he's got on that. Could well have. No, he doesn't. It's interesting. He started to build it again. Let his mass bar go up a little bit. You can see how quickly that flies up. He's managed to finish a T3 mass extractor. That's why. So he suddenly has some eco. Is he trying to go for a snipe here? It's going to be a tough thing to look for. Actually, he's on another upgrade. Interesting. The backpack's disappeared, so after all that, he's got rid of the TAC missile launcher, and I can only discern from that he's going for the nano repair system, so he has wasted quite a bit of eco on that decision. It's not a bad decision in itself. He could have still gone after all of the stuff over here from Zero Cool. But Mishka being very ballsy now that he's got the gun upgrade, finally finishes off that pack of Medusas, making good use of overcharge. Beej stuck over here on that upgrade, is now in danger being overextended, but thanks to Bombasa's coverage, Mishka doesn't want to get too involved. He's going to lose that fight against two ACUs and he knows it. But still, you look at where it was a little while ago, it's much healthier, and look at the amount of rhinos on the field. I did not see that. That's what he's been doing this whole time. He's got T2 land and he's been massing rhinos, and they need to be really careful here. Beej cancels his upgrade and gets on the move. They need to get seriously overcharging right now. They don't want to get swarmed by units. Mishka's firing the occasional shot into Bombasa's ACU to take off a few more hit points. But Mishka's surging forward with units now. And Bombasa's down to 1,000 HP. He's gonna go. Oh my god. I did not see that coming. Bombasa throws up the GG, and in a pretty stunning turnaround, Team 1 get bum rushed by Mishka's T2. When we see the flare from the Nova dissipate, all that's left is Beej on around half health, 7.5k hit points. Mishka gets back involved with cleaning up the area, takes down that mass point that Beej has held for the last 10 or 15 minutes. And things suddenly looking very healthy for Team 2. Auto give is on though, however, so Beej is now sitting pretty on a lot larger income than he had before. So all is not lost for Team 1. They haven't lost anything except the attention span of one player. Beej now has a lot of power at his fingertips, and he's also the highest ranked player in the game, running at 1408 as well, so that could be pretty dangerous. Time will tell. Mantis helping to work on a T2 mass extractor. Zero Cool still very concerned by his eco. We'll take a look on what he's actually on. He's on 21 mass. Mishka's on 24. Beej is on 93. So in terms of eco, Beej is looking very healthy indeed. He's way above that of Team 2. So he may have lost a little bit of control power in terms of his teammate. He may feel a little bit under pressure and be alone, but he's certainly sitting pretty in terms of infrastructure. Now it's Mishka's turn to advance slightly. Getting blocked once again by the hill. So again looking nice with decent mix of T2 and T1 in there. But now we're seeing a lot of Ilshivas on the ground. We've actually got a T3 upgrade in progress as well for Beej, and that's going to be on the Cybran factory, so we're going to see probably Loyalists and Bricks coming into play for Team 1 very soon. But look at this little advance that Mishka's making, and Beej is on another upgrade again. He's probably trying to finish off that nano repair that got interrupted first, or a little while ago, when his teammate got vaporized. That is now finished. Plus 85, so he's got some serious regen on there now. That is going to be nasty to contend with. However, there's a lot of units coming in now from Team 2. Mishka's straying headlong into a lot of fires, a lot of Ilshivas around here, and more rolling off the pad all the time. Needs to be very careful. He's obviously buoyed by that performance earlier and reclaiming some of the map. But he's down to around 8,000 hit points. He's getting in the mix. He knows he needs to be up here to contend with all this because he has to have that overcharge in play to take out these Ilshivas. He hasn't got enough firepower on the ground in terms of units to deal with it. So he has to be playing it hard and loose up at front with his ACU. It's the only way he's going to be able to really get back in this game. Finishes off the last Ilshiva and is going to work on the front lines, but I honestly think Beej can just afford to sit there and tank this while he just goes around popping the rest of the units. He's under no real threat at all. He's got far too much regen, he's got far too much health, 21,000 hit points. It's basically a monkey lord without the laser sitting there and overcharge, so sitting pretty right at the front there. Now Bricks rolling onto the scene as well. A little bit of an attempt to the run by from Mishka, trying to assassinate some build capacity, but all the engineers clubbing together to recycle that Rhino. And he's split off nicely. He's taken the plateau. He's moved some Mantis in here to take out some of the T1 P-Gens. He's trying to cause as much general collateral damage as he can. Beej getting an overcharge off and thinning out the forces, and once again he gets back in it. We're seeing a Corsair flying around as well. It's the first real meaningful contribution we've seen from Zero Cool since those Cerberus turrets went up. Still producing more Corsairs, perhaps looking to do some kind of assassination at some point. There's a lot of T3 mass at the back here. We've got 1, 2, so it's a lot. That's where the eco is predominantly coming from. If Team 2 can get a hold of those, cause so many hit points on a T3 mass extractor, you're talking about 8,400. Tough things to kill. Bricks up front now as well. And this is the dangerous part for Team 2. Mishka has to stay near the front if he's going to contend with them. He's coming very far forward. If you get a nice overcharge in the middle, that looks like what his plan is. He grabs a brick and an Ilshiva with one overcharge. Another one coming in, takes out the other brick. This is why the ACU is so powerful. You can see he's past the 60 kill mark. It's got a nice upgrade, another increase in veterancy. Makes him just that little bit stronger. He's going to need it. We've got a trebuchet from Beej. He snuck it in round the corner. Snuck it in? I'm just making up words now. He sneaked it in round the corner, or snuck it up against this cliff. And he's just launching stuff over into the main base. Shame he couldn't keep it alive. That's why his bricks and Ilshivas were parked there. Had he been able to stop Mishka from breaking forward, he would have been able to keep that alive and probably wreak a nasty amount of damage with it. But it was not to be. Mishka is on form today. Now we'll take a look at what things are going. We're seeing some T2 power going up. See what Beej is looking like, and that is why minus 800 power net he was a moment ago, trying to get his eco under control. And he's not hurting for mass really at all. You can imagine what it's like when he gets the power sorted. You can see he's gonna he's queued up another one straight after. Mishka still fearless up front. Just feels like he needs to stay in there and keep popping these units so they don't amass and become too much for him to deal with. Doesn't want to be standing there. If his overcharge gets blocked by the cliff, that could cause problems. He's down to about 5,000 hit points. Finally takes out that brick, still retreating to around 9,000 now, putting some damage on Beej, trying to follow up with some rhinos. Once again, Beej has to retreat. Taking quite a little bit of fire from these rhinos. He's not overcharging as much as I would like him to. Don't really know why. He's got one T2 power generator online, so he's on the way to sorting this out. Of course, that is why he's completely out of power. Just been talking about it. I was wondering why he wasn't overcharging. It's because he's at minus 1,000 net. Needs to get more power sorted ASAP. He doesn't want to get caught out like that again. Doesn't want to be engaging with singular bricks either. So Mishka's going to walk in and just overcharge them. Seeing some fire coming in from somewhere. Not sure where that is. Shields going up at the front finally over here at the right side for Team 2. Take a quick look at how these guys are doing. Mishka's looking pretty healthy. He's recycling something. Must be getting that kind of mass. He is. You can see the reclaim counter going up. He's actually sitting on around 33 mass. But in terms of how much he's reclaimed, he's leading the field by a considerable margin. So Mishka making very good use of the battlefield as and where he can. Beej, having now finished that power generator, still is in trouble. What is sucking power? He's building ASFs, and that'll do it every time. He's got a spy plane out. It's going to give him some pretty good intel as to what's on the field. But we're now seeing some loyalists in play for Mishka, so he's also made the transition to T3 land. Mishka's spotted the spy planes, warning about the T3 air. We've also got T3 air on the ground for Zero Cool as well. That must be sapping his eco pretty hard. He doesn't have the mass to build too quickly though, so power isn't so much of an issue for him. Trying to get those initial ASFs out. Really know why he's sending those Mantis in. It's not even Mantis, sorry, it's Hunters. A little bit of target practice for these bricks at the front. Bricks versus loyalists. It's going to be bricks emerging victorious every single time. And Mishka's actually backing up with his ACU. It's no longer up at the front, so he can't provide that critical support that he's been providing for the last few minutes. And another upgrade on Beej. What's he doing now? He's the upgrade king today. So we've got the T2 engineering suite on the comm as well, so he's got some nice build power on that commander as well, and another set of hit points. He's up to 26,000 HP, looking very healthy indeed. And a ping going down at the front on the Monkey Lord that's just gone down. We've actually got a strap bomber out going straight after Mishka. Takes out a bunch of surrounding T1, hits the commander slightly, and nearly takes out 4 loyalists as well. Another pass would do it. Doesn't want to hang those loyalists too close to the ACU. That's what he's going after. Mishka tries to bob and weave. And Team 2 are alarmingly thin in the air. They don't have any kind of air support at all. So this strap bomber could potentially ruin their evening. Oh! Taking out all kinds of supporting defensive structures. Doesn't manage to drop the bomb there, but Mishka down to 3,000 hit points. Is taking a lot of fire from this brick. Needs to be really careful. Was thinking about getting in there and overcharging it, realizing how low he is on hit points, down to around 1,000 hit points. Gets out of range from the brick, but the strap bomber comes in with another bomb, and that's going to do it. Mishka is ejected from the game. All the units transferred to Zero Cool's control, and now Team 2 are in trouble. Mishka with the only thing holding this game, or was the only thing holding this game together for them. Zero Cool stands little or no chance of stemming the tide on this one, I shouldn't think. Simultaneously building 2 Monkey Lords is never a good idea. One gets control Cade. It's probably the one that Mishka was building. Didn't get transferred, of course, because it wasn't completed. But 2 strap bombers overhead and very little, if anything, to deal with it. I don't see any way around this at all. 2 strap bombers coming in, clearing up the defenses at the front. Zero Cool's ACU is now completely exposed. There's 1 shield generator back here that's blinking on and off because he's having critical power issues. Working his way up onto the plateau, but no. Strat's just making an absolute mess. The main base, he has managed to get an ASF in play and a strap bomber of his own. He's trying to get in there for the counter attack. He's focusing on lots of, or focusing on those 2 bricks, but there's lots of build capacity he could be going after, and that's assisting the air factory, which is definitely causing him the problems at the moment. But a very heavily damaged strap bomber gets taken out very quickly in one pass by T1 Inties. And now he's just open to all kinds of abuse. Finally manages to pop that other strap bomber out of the sky with that ASF. Things not looking good at all. There's 1 trebuchet making his way west. Trying to get into a place where I guess he can try and bombard Beej's base at range, but he's got incoming Ilshivers and bricks. And he didn't see the 2 bricks there either. Now, finally, that ASF from Zero Cool gets plucked out of the sky. 1 Loyalist going to go in, face off against 4 bricks and 2 Ilshivers. He's going to lose that fight every time. And there's very little up at the front. We've got 3 Cerberus turrets and an artillery installation. Gunther's. Gunther. Funny name. Artillery fires away, but it's not going to do him any good. Might take out an Ilshiver or 2. Overcharge the bots. Comes the advice from Mishka, who's clearly still with us watching the game. Dangerous place to be, though, standing in front of 4 bricks, although they're very well bunched up. A nice overcharge could take care of all of them. Zero Cool is marching in. He knows he has to give it a go. If he takes the middle one here, he could take out the front 3, and that will offer him a chance. Get on with it, son. You're taking too much damage. No! He took out the back one, and now he's screwed. Oh, Zero Cool. That was definitely Zero Cool. GG. Well played, Beej. Well played, Team 1. Good effort, Team 2. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. I've got a lot more coming. Very backed up on replays. I may double up on replays on some days of the week. This week we shall see. In the meantime, as always, stay well, stay safe, and I will see you next time. This is Gyle signing out.